it's possible that you could be doing all the right things, showing up for your family, doing what you're supposed to do, attending to your work diligently, showing up as a mom to the best of your capacity, showing up as a caregiver, just doing what you're supposed to do, but again, feel like you're running on fumes. So if that's you today, or if you are in that moment, today's soul care episode is dedicated to you as a permission for you to reset, for you to recalibrate yourself, and then come back to who you are. So welcome back to the channel. This is HerNest Joy, where nutrition, soul care and self-care blend to birth wholeness. Now, today's episode is on when you've been running on empty. How do you bring yourself back to reset? How do you bring yourself back to feeling the joy or the energy that you feel like has leaked out? So I would speak from my perspective first. I have been there because I'm that person who believes in, who takes responsibility in what she does, who just wants to do the best they can. I do my work diligently. I make sure that I've done what is supposed to be done. Just being in general, I subscribe to being the responsible person when it comes to what you're like, just do what you're supposed to do. Okay, but of course there are those moments when I know very well I've not done my best, especially during that time of the month on my periods. I always know that, okay, I'm just doing this thing because I can't push it away because I am on periods. I just have to do it. But I always know that if I had done this activity or if I had done this work before this moment, I know very well that the outcome would be much greater. So, and mi ujikubali, during that time, I just show myself grace. In fact, I talk to myself, najiambia like, Joy, just understand your body. You are in pain right now. And so don't push yourself so hard. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't push yourself so hard. Just do what you have the capacity to do. Yeah. So if I was to do something and then sina hiyo nguvu, nitafanya hadi penye nitafikia during that time, because again, it's not usually one of the best times. And even from the physical point, yani a lot is just usually happening. And so except during those times, that's when I tell myself, no, I have to show myself grace. But during other times, I just do what I'm supposed to do, just being responsible, in short. So I have been there where you are doing what you're supposed to do. You're showing up in the best way you possibly can, but you feel like the joy, the peace and the energy you had is just not there. You're not feeling it. Unajiuliza, kwani what's going on? Nini na happen? Una mood kabisa. And then it dawned on me, you can't be pouring from an empty cup. You definitely can't pour from an empty cup. So as you show up for your work, as you show up for your children, as you show up for whatever it is that you do, you have to know that there's an energy that you are dissipating outside. Even if it's something as just having an interaction with a friend, by now I think we know that anytime you are with these people or you spend time with people or just working on something, you are releasing your energy to that particular situation. Oh, sorry, I got a little distracted. So back to where we were at. I was saying that anytime you spend time with something or someone, you are dissipating energy, you're using up energy that had been stored from your soul, from your body, even from a physical level, like you're using energy. And so if you continue doing that without pouring back into your cup, of course you're going to get to a point whereby you just can't give anymore. You're supposed to do this thing, but you can't bring yourself to doing it. And you may wonder, kwani what's going on? It's because you are running on empty. It's because you are running on empty. And so we'll start with how do you know that you're running on empty? How do you know that your cup is empty? It's now time for you to go and refuel, to go and fill your cup so that you can show up for your friends, for whatever it is you're supposed to do fully. You can give it your 80%, 90%, and even 100% on those days when you feel like, my cup is overflowing, you can give it to that extent. So the very first sign is irritability over very small things. Irritability even over small things, like something small. Somebody can just make a comment from nowhere, commenting about maybe your hair, like my hair. I've really struggled to put this hair together. Yeah. But anyway, somebody can just comment something about you, or they can just tell you something, or maybe ask you to do something, and for you, it's just the moment those words hit your ears, it's like they have insulted you. And it's not that they have insulted you, maybe you just don't have the capacity to do what they have told you to do. So unaboeka, like nini mbaya na nyinyi, you might end up having outbursts over small things. Remember, not because sometimes for real, the situation that has happened qualifies you to be angry about that thing, yeah. But now it's just something small. Hata we mwenyewe, looking back or analyzing that situation, you'll know that akiapo I overreacted. When you realize you're having these emotional outbursts and irritable over small things, that is your number one sign that your cup is running empty, or it's empty and it needs to be refilled. And then the next thing is you have lost excitement over the things that you enjoyed doing. At the beginning, you used to love this thing that you are doing. You used to wake up feeling energized, going to work, and then you never had a problem with them. But then it has just gotten to a point you're wondering, your psyche haiko. You're no longer excited about doing those things or those activities that you enjoyed doing. So it's also at a pointer that you are tired. It's just a way of your mind trying to tell you we need to refill ourselves. And then the last point that I think is a good pointer to if our cup is running empty is you feel disconnected. And this disconnection happens in three ways. You feel disconnected from yourself, disconnected from God, and even disconnected from yourself. It's like you're existing in the universe, but you're not in your life, and you don't seem to feel God around you, and also you don't want to interact with people because, again, you don't have the energy that it takes to interact with people. And so when it gets to and I feel like once it gets to this disconnection, I feel like this is when your cup is empty. Yeah, yani ile yenye umeisha. If you don't refill at this time, you may just spiral into another situation that was not, like, it was not supposed to get to that point, because now you don't want to talk to people, you're not talking to God. In fact, you're not even feeling God himself. And then you've also disconnected from your body. So you'll realize, number one is you'll isolate yourself. You don't want to relate with other people. And isolation is also not a good sign. And then the next thing is you feel like because you're not connected to God, your soul starts drying up. Yeah. If you are to handle situations in certain ways, or if you are used to hearing God in a certain way, all of a sudden it's just quiet and you're wondering, kwani kunaenda aje? Yeah? And then when you disconnect yourself from yourself, you'll realize that personal care becomes a problem. Yeah, you're no longer taking care of yourself. You're not putting in the work to make sure that you're feeling well, you are eating well, you're taking care of your body and all that, because literally you feel like you're not in this body. We take care of ourselves because we feel like we're in this body. You tell yourself, I can't do this, like I can't go hungry because I want to nourish my body, or let me go take a shower, let me take a bath, or whatever personal care thing that you usually do. You always want to do it because you feel yourself inside your body, so you automatically want your body to feel well. So during those times when you disconnect from yourself, you realize even personal care, it is so much work and you don't have time. So why does this matter? Why does it matter that when you realize that you're running on fumes, you are supposed to slow down and then re-energize, refill yourself, fill yourself back to who you are, bring yourself back to center, and then so that you can proceed. This is because eventually you'll stop. You know, it has been equated to like you are driving with an empty fuel. Eventually that car is going to stop. Eventually that car is going to stop and you won't move. You won't continue with what you are supposed to do, or your life will just end. Will just take a toll, and then the rest will be history. So, and I care so much about this because this channel is here to nurture, to help you thrive, and because you will be thriving, automatically you will rise. Once you get involved, or once I put my message out here, I want you to get into that point where I want us actually. I do these things because I'm also learning, I'm also teaching myself from what I talk to you guys. So once we put ourselves in that position of nurturing ourselves, it means that the end goal is to rise. Yeah, we nurture ourselves well, take good care of ourselves, and then we are going to thrive. And once you start thriving, if all areas of your life will start thriving. Your relationships will thrive, your work will also thrive, and everything about you will thrive. And if everything about around you is thriving, automatically you're going to rise to become better. You're going to thrive to live the life and the destiny that God had initially prepared for you before time. Before you even came, He had prepared something for you to do for the sake of His kingdom, and therefore you will be in a position to do it to the best of your capacity. And who knows, at the end of this journey, He'll tell you, well done, my daughter, you've done well, because you actually did your assignment and brought it to completion. So making sure that when you get to the level where I feel like you're running dry, it's our responsibility to know how to bring ourselves back to center, how to nurture ourselves, how to fill ourselves, how to fill our cups again. And even, it's not even supposed to, you don't have to completely empty your cup for you to refill it. It's supposed to be a balance. As you pour out, you're also pouring in. You pour out, you're also pouring in. So what are these soul care practices that you can use to make sure that you're just not pouring out, but you're also pouring in? The first thing would go with not neglecting your hobbies. And I already did a video on hobbies. I think it's been a while before we shot content. I can't know if it's our second last video or the last video. Okay, I'm not quite sure, but I already did a video about hobbies and how you can get yourself into the hobby area. If you're not that person who is keen on hobbies, how do you get yourself in? Because hobbies are those things that they have a way of making you intentionally slow down, like to make sure that you have carved out time for you to attend to your hobbies. And because you've carved out time to attend to your hobbies, it's during those moments that you are energizing yourself. So taking part in your hobbies, whereby we really need to, especially because of how busy life is lately, I feel like people should intentionally create time, either on weekends or depending on your weekly schedules and how they look like. Carve out time to make sure that you are taking part in those hobbies, because you are equally refilling yourself, energizing yourself, bringing yourself back to center. And then the next thing that you can do to refill yourself is also spending time with God. And this is the only way of refilling your soul. Your soul has an owner. Your soul came from somewhere, and because it came from somewhere, that is where it gets its energy from. So spending time with God, this can be through reading your Bible, even listening to worship songs that are in the praise and worship category. You can listen to them, and then you can also listen to Bible teachings over YouTube or wherever it is. I believe the spiritual journey is very personal and different from everyone. How God relates with me is completely different with how he may be relating with you. So depending on how you feel like this is how I connect with God. Well, you get involved in those activities. If it's reading your Bible, get your Bible, read it. If it's prayer, again, go ahead and pray. If it means attending church service or just fellowship with others, again, make sure that during a Sunday service you present yourself to church. That is a way of you refilling your soul. And then the third thing that I would say will help you refuel is having adequate sleep. Guys, I think I even posted on my stories, but of course by the time you're seeing this video, it will be a week after I have already posted that story, that I read it from the Standard newspaper. And I think Wednesday, I guess it was 10th. Yeah, 10th of September. And this, can't even remember the writer can't remember the writer, but this story was telling how Kenyans are lacking sleep. Ama iko hapa. Let me see it. Yeah. Oh, guys, I even have the news. God knew I would talk about this. Yeah. So the topic was, it's September 10th, 2025 on Wednesday. So this is the of course you can't see it, amwezi iona. So the title is Why More Adults Are Losing Sleep and Turning to Drugs. So basically this article was done by, where do they usually name it? I think it was written by Esther Diana. Oh yeah, I think it was written by Esther Diana, page 3 of the Standard newspaper, dated 10th September 2025. She wrote an article about why more adults are losing sleep and turning to drugs. So I realized that, many things cause people to lack sleep, but I understand that by the time you're lacking sleep, it's because there is something that is keeping you awake. Yeah, could be emotional or could be physical. And so it gets to a point where somebody has to take drugs to sleep or to take supplements specifically so that they can help them sleep, because they can't just bring themselves to close their eyes and sleep the way we feel. Like, it's so automatic that ni usiku imefika, go to bed, pray, and then sleep. And then in a few hours time it will be in the morning. It turns out that it's not as obvious as we think it should. People have issues that are keeping them awake. People have problems or situations that are keeping them awake. And I also love the fact that she also addressed something about now the mechanical reasons or the things that you could be doing that are interfering with your circadian rhythm. Like, you can't even sleep well. These dim lights in the bedroom. All this is to say that ensuring that you have a good night's sleep is also a way of you getting energy on a physical level. Yeah, if you're not sleeping, if you're not getting adequate sleep, then of course you're going to be dry on energy. You won't really perform to your best because, again, you don't have the energy that it takes to show up for the next day with the enthusiasm that you'd show up with if you had just gotten yourself a good night's sleep. So when it comes to sleep, first of all, we'll address what's causing these sleepless nights, and then you'll see what to do about it. But sleep is very, very important. So lovely people, if you've been feeling empty today, you're not broken. You just need gentle refilling, and these practices that we've talked about will enable you to refill yourself. And then I'd also like to learn from you, what are those activities that you usually do to make sure that you don't run out of energy, you don't run out of your aura as you speak, you don't run out of it. And if this spoke to you, or if you loved the content today, so give it a like so that YouTube can push this video to those people who might need this rest. Hey, I'm still learning these YouTube terms so that YouTube can send it to other people, to other women who may be in need of this particular segment. So I hope today's soul care episode has blessed you, and also remember, God is the ultimate peace provider. The peace that he gives you is not like the peace that the world gives. So at the end of it all, keeping your connection firm with him, ensuring that you don't lose track of him. But again, even if you lose track of him, he never loses track of his children. So you're just welcomed to come back. Anytime you seek him, you will find him. So after all has been said and done, make sure that you are up close with God, and he will help you walk through all these other situations, especially if you have issues that are keeping you awake through the night, those difficult moments that you just wonder, how am I supposed to sleep when I have these issues going on? I think those are the best moments where you can tell God, no, hapa mi siwezi, it's you to help me out on this situation. So thank you for staying with me, and for those who have not yet subscribed, hey guys, subscribe. Until next time, goodbye.